Hey guys, Vick here and welcome to another review. Today we are looking at this, the Vick VTC Mini kit from GearBest EU. Absolute game changer at GearBest. They now have an EU warehouse that you can order directly from. This entire kit is currently on sale at $50. Absolute bargain. $50, and it comes in the same time as buying from a UK website does. Comes in like 48 hours. Absolute game changer at GearBest. China prices, UK delivery times, you know, so go and check that out. I think $50 for all this is an absolute bargain. So this is the Joyetech VTC Mini, which is the mod, and the Ego 1 Mega, which is the clearomizer that comes as a kit. Now, this is a firmware upgradable mod, and they've just released version 1.10 of the firmware update. Now, I haven't used that update. I'm going to wait for it to bed in and make sure it doesn't cause any major problems. But apparently it upgrades it to 75 watts. It improves some of the temp control formula. And there's some additional menu items, like you can find out how many amps you're pulling and things like that. So we're not going to cover too much of the firmware. I'm going to do the firmware and I'm going to talk about it on the next vlog. So bear that in mind. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to have a vape and go up close, and I'll show you everything that comes in the kit and show you the two things up close. Okay guys, here we are up close with the Joyetech VTC Mini. You can see the colours up there, and firmware upgradable, which we'll talk about up top. This is the box. Inside the box you get your manual. The top layer has the mod, and then down below you get your spare head, authenticity warranty, and a charging cable. Looking at their heads, this is the titanium. What am I on about? This is a titanium coil head. Now they're very small, the coil heads on here. By way of comparison, here is an Atlantis head. And, you know, that's the cause of some of its slight issues. You know, don't get me wrong, this is great, but it's the cause of some of its slight issues, the size of the heads that it uses. But it has some advantages as well. But that is the head. You can see it's just a vertical coil in there. Looking at the clearomizer, obviously matching colour. I don't know if it'd be nice if either these were stainless steel buttons and stuff, or maybe if these were black. I don't know. But the clearomizer is like your standard clearomizer. You got your drip tip there. You've got your adjustable airflow, like that. You got your windows to see your juice. Can be tricky sometimes to see that juice, but it's a nice way of doing it, and it makes for a nice looking clearomizer. You've got your head, that's your nickel head in there, and you just fill it up down the side there. And we'll talk about the clearomizer quite a bit more up top, but that is that. In fact, to show you the mod best, the 510 on the mod, spring loaded, works a treat, works especially a treat with its resident clearomizer. But this is the mod. Battery removable here. As you can see, you can't put it the wrong way around. It just doesn't work the wrong way around, so don't worry about that. Nice and strong. It doesn't play too much in the hand, which is good. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are on, and you can see what I'm using this nickel coil at. 28.3 watts, 0.19 it's coming out at, battery at the bottom, and you can see I am in temp nickel mode at 530 Fahrenheit. If you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you get into the menu system. To scroll through the menu system, you go like this, and you can change your settings there. If, say, you want to go into titanium mode, or just straight wattage mode, bypass mode, or nickel mode, and to select it you just go like that. Once you're out of the menu you can adjust the temperature there. Really good screen, great screen. Nice button, nice clicky button, works great, plus and minus, and I like that it has the charging on the side there. Underneath, not a lot going on, but there is a groove to help you take that battery door off. But a cracking mod, and we'll go back up top and get into the nitty gritty of the pros and cons. See you in a sec. Okay, that was the VTC Mini kit up close. Let's just take it apart. I'm just going to say straight off, I think it's a fantastic value at that GearBest EU price. I think that is, you know, it's $50, £30, 30 odd pounds for this full kit, and you're just away and going with this. You know, I think that's an absolutely fantastic deal, great value for money for what this is. I'm just going to say that straight off the bat. Talking about the two elements, the clearomizer, the Ego 1 Mega, it is what it is, and what I mean by that is it is not the best sub-ohm clearomizer out there. It's limited, in my opinion, by the fact that the heads, the coil heads, are very small. They've done that so it can be a small clearomizer with big capacity, totally get it, but the limitations are you're not going to get the same vape as these big, you know, it's not a crown style vape, you know, because they've got these little coils inside, so you've got to bear that in mind. Speaking of the two clearomizer heads that come in this kit, you get a titanium and a nickel one. I much prefer the titanium coil head. I think that vapes really well. The nickel one works and everything, it's fine, but I do actually prefer the way the titanium one vapes, so I'll just say that. Yeah, the capacity is great on it, it looks great, it's easy to fill, no leaks or silly noises or anything like that, adjustable airflow. It's a solid clearomizer, but it's slightly limited in my opinion in terms of vapor production and flavour due to the fact it needs to use those small coil heads. I would recommend the Camphor ones, but I'll come back to why in a sec. So speaking about the actual mod itself, absolutely cracking mod. The one thing I'm going to put at it, and this might upset some people, I don't know, in my opinion, and this probably is fixed by the firmware upgrade, which is another fantastic feature of this mod, the one thing I would put at this mod is it vapes cool. And what I mean by that is the temperature control compared to other temperature mods that I've tried and tested against this, it's about 60-70 Fahrenheit. It's vaping 50 Fahrenheit or limiting 50-60 Fahrenheit higher than and lower than other mods. So what I mean by that is if I was at 450 on a DNA 40, 450 Fahrenheit, then to get a similar vape on here I'd need to be around 510, 520 to get the same vape. It seems to run cool. Now I believe they're going to be fixing that in the firmware. We'll find out and I'll talk about it on the next vlog. That is the one thing I would level at this as a con. The positives are fantastic. Beautiful screen, great looking mod, excellent battery compartment, no problems there. I like that it charges on there. The interface is great, the button's great, the 510's great. Great little mod, very very cool indeed. Works in titanium, works in nickel. Battery life is good for what it is. You know, it's a single 18650 temperature control mod, so the battery is the equivalent of that, but it does do that very well. And yeah, vape's great. This is going to be my new take to work setup. It's nice and small and compact. There's enough capacity in the clearomizer to get me through a day's work. There's no outstanding negatives. In my opinion it runs cool, but that's so easily fixed anyway because you can just bump up that Fahrenheit until you're at what you're at. Great kit, awesome kit, great value, very well made, very well put together. I'm a big fan of this and I think it's an absolute bargain on GearBest EU. If you're looking for a new work vape, portable vape, or you're moving from a spinner, an Ego twist setup, if you've been using the Sigalikes, great next step, great second step mod, or great portable out and about mod. Really big fan of it. What more can I say? I've been vaping Vick. Go and check out GearBest. If you've dismissed it before because of the long delivery times, they've got an EU warehouse now, so go and check that out. I've been vaping Vick, and I'll see you again really soon.